No bidding, but it will be back one day. Howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Fan on in the window, door open, fans on out in the hall. It's going to be a hot day today. It was a hot day yesterday. Started off with cloud cover and rain, and then got sunny and hot. Yay! It is a brand new day. I am alive, and that's good. Also, just as a real quick thing, one of the things that I keep forgetting, but of course this is a part of my whole spinal stenosis, is not just the spinal column itself that's tightening up around my spinal cord. It's also right here in my neck where I'm having the issues, where the nerves come out the side, those are tightening up too. Like right here on the right side, that's why I've got so many problems. It's so tight through there that this will never stop being irritated. It's always going to hurt and get worse just because it's tight and getting tighter. So I can lose just my arm entirely. Thumbs up. Anyway, though, it's a brand new day. Yay! First thing, I'm going to talk about what happened yesterday, because I called up my social worker and left a message saying, I'm sorry, and heard nothing back. So I don't know if she heard it. I don't know if she heard it and went, oh, okay. I don't know what's going on. I want to call her back to let her know what happened with my calls to the Veterans Administration. Because I called the Veterans Administration. It took hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, but they finally called back and we talked. And she said what was available there, which wasn't much. You know, she's primarily in charge of looking for resources to direct people at. And so she directed me to, there's poor people housing. I mean, it's not what it's called, but there's, you know, low income housing in Shelton. And I called them up and their first question was, are you homeless? And when I said no, they said, well, you have a good day. We can't help you. And so I called the Veterans Administration back on that, and it was like, oh, well, okay. So she's trying to look for other things and other resources and other people to try and help. But yeah, she even admitted that it is a situation where these are just numbers as an example, not real numbers. But they will not spend the $2,000 necessary to keep you from becoming homeless, to fix the situation and stop you from becoming homeless. You have to become homeless and lose everything. And then they'll jump in and they'll spend the $12,000 to $20,000 to bring you back up and give you things back to replace the stuff that you lost. I would think it'd be better just to spend the $2,000 to keep someone from falling rather than spend all that time, trouble, and try and replace everything that's lost. And yeah, I asked them, you know, when it becomes, if I become homeless, you know, what does homeless count? Is it in a hotel room or something? No. To become homeless, to become ready and available for any sort of help, I have to live in a place where you're not supposed to live. If I'm not living on a sidewalk, if I'm not living in a car, they're not going to help me. I literally have to lose everything and live where people can't live. And once I'm living where you aren't supposed to live because there's nothing there for you to live in, then they'll jump in and they'll spend the $12,000 to $20,000 necessary to fix things up. So, I'm still doing what I'm doing, can do. I'm making phone calls. I got a therapist call today. I'm going to be talking with him. We're going to be doing stuff. I am still going through. I've dumped out a bunch of things. I've got plastic that I've already had, so I'm having to throw out stuff to get boxes to put things into. It's a slow process, but yeah, my back is getting closer and closer to the wall, which means I'm working more and more. Oh, it is joyous. And I need to call my housemates to find out, you know, when we're going to be in contact again, because I need to pay them for next month's Comcast. I can't go without internet here, so Life is just a lot of fun right now. And by a lot of fun, I mean absolutely horrific and nightmarish. It has not been a good year. Thank you, everybody that's not abandoning me in my slow spiral into just total horrificness. I wish I could do things that would fix it better and faster. I never knew as a kid that when I hit 60, I would be facing living on the street. For as long as it took until I have a heart attack or stroke, because you can't plug a sleep apnea machine into a sidewalk and I stop breathing when I sleep. Plus, I sleep on 10 inches of foam, and even that is too hard and it's difficult to sleep. I don't sleep any more than 4 or 5 hours a night. I'm not going to be able to sleep on any normal mattress or anything that's like a sidewalk or the ground. But, I'm not homeless yet. My life hasn't completely fallen apart yet. So, taking a look over here on the side, one of the things I sort of talked about yesterday was the latest DLC for the game, Security Breach, for the Five Nights at Freddy's thing. And I talked about how it was much more linear and much more scary. They're leaning into the horror. More than that, oh my god, emotion can sneak up and get me. I don't understand people. I understand how people are supposed to work, like textbook stuff, but that's the science rather than the art. And so when I come up across actual people trying to put this is how people are supposed to work versus this is how people actually are, it's hard to interface that. But I can find and react to strong, real feeling emotion. And in Ruin, the guy Unique Geese was playing this, and I was watching the playthrough. I started to actually cry during the gameplay video. I mean, if you don't like the game or you don't know what I'm talking about, I mean, I'm probably spoilers. It's a whole bunch of newish animatronics because they were evil animatronics in the older games. These are new animatronics. They're trying for a new era of Five Nights at Freddy's. So there's all sorts of different animatronics, and one of them is like this Roxy character. I don't know what she is, like a fox or something like that, but they're all anthropomorphic animatronics. And at one point, she, in this nasty, horrific look, because the place that they are in has... In the first game, the place still looks okay. The base game, it looks okay, but things are still falling apart. You can tell that true maintenance has not been done. In this game, the DLC for it, the place is falling apart. You can tell it has been years since anyone has been in and doing anything. And inside of this nightmarish looking place, the animatronics look just as bad, and Roxy looks horrific, nightmarish, you know, skin half gone, face not right, hair just a mess, tail torn off. There's also a mask you can wear that lets you see a glitch, augmented reality, which they really also, it's not just science fiction, it's more than that, because there are physical objects in the world that look glitchy, and when you put the mask on, you can see it's just something electronic. It isn't just an electronic thing, it's not physical, but in the real world, when you take the mask off, you can't move through it. It's a physical object until you put the mask on, and then you can just pass through its electronic facade. Just as there are places where you can't travel because it's a gap or there's a blockage. You put on the mask, and suddenly there's a path that you can physically walk on that is not there unless you have the mask on. Or you can pass through a wall that you should not be able to pass through, but you can. So there's a lot of goofiness going on, but it fits with the story. But when you're watching Roxy with your mask on, her body is fixed up. All the parts of her that were missing were replaced with this bright and glowing, very cool effect looking neon like tubing drawings where the parts of her that were missing are. And she looks good. And you can see her wandering around. And then at this one point you're told, and it's obviously you're trying to rescue a 12-year-old child. You're a 12-year-old child. I don't know the ages. But you are a child going through this place. You're a little girl trying to find a little boy, and you're hearing the voices, and this boy, Gregory, tells you, you have to turn off Roxy so that you can find and save the kid. Now, I am probably going to, I might even get teary-eyed on this one, because you find Roxy smashed underneath something. This is from the base game, where Roxy got smashed by a car type thing. But she remembers you. Now, my headcanon is, with the database, with all this, she recognizes you as just someone who's been there at the pizza place before. Because she recognizes you from having been there when you were 11. And earlier, when you had seen Roxy, she had, in her frightening look, grabbed your arm. And when the character, Cassie, the 12-year-old girl, yells, "Ah, let go, let go!" Roxy just jumps back, going, "Oh! I'm sorry. And then the door slams in front of her, and you hear the voice behind there of her just going, "Error." Roxy feels bad. And then there's Roxy trapped underneath this thing. And talking to you. And you have to take this device, you ram it into her eye, and you shut her off. And as she is as she is going down, she is just saying nice things. And what made it worse is, as you're going onward from that point, the little girl, she's crying too. That didn't help. The guy, Unique Geese, that was playing it was like, "Don't you do this to me. Don't you do this to me," as she was crying. And, yeah, real emotion. And then the shocker ending of the DLC is, you find out that it's a horrific, nightmarish thing that was pretending to be the 12-year-old boy, and it's been free, and the entirety of this thing was set there to keep it captured, and it used you to try and get free. But the 12-year-old boy says, we can't allow it to get free. I'm sorry. And the elevator that you're escaping on goes into free fall. And then you hear the screams, and then it cuts to credits. Only at the very end, after the credits, you hear in silence Roxy's voice saying, "Cassie?" And then it's over. So maybe Cassie didn't die at the very end of this. This is the first time I have ever felt emotionally invested. And then Five Nights at Freddy's came. Hokey smokes, they have done such a good job. Plus I have therapy today, so just checking the time. I'm going to be really late on everything today, but that's alright. Really quick here. One of the things that's happening that I wanted to talk about on a tech level, they're going to be coming out with Windows 12 here real soon. Windows 11 is a nightmare and nobody likes it. But they're coming out with Windows 12 soon. Way back in the 90s, when Microsoft was first coming out with DOS and Windows 3.1 and all that, and when they were coming out with 95 and 98, one of their dreams that they were talking about was, in the tech world, making it so that people had dumb terminals. It would be like just a big network. Your computer does nothing. Your computer just connects to the network. It's a dumb terminal. It does connect, and then the far off place does the work. Windows 12 is a cloud-based operating system where it doesn't matter they're planning on, it doesn't matter if you have a phone or a tablet or a computer, you connect to the cloud, and that's where your operating system is. Their dream of 20, 30 years back of making sure that we just had dumb terminals, that our machines can't actually do anything on their own at all, is coming to fruition. Because if you can't log into your web-based OS, your machine doesn't do anything. It is a dumb terminal. It does nothing on its own without the network server telling it what to do. I don't really like that idea, but it doesn't matter. I have no power in this world. I am 60 years old with a lot of health issues. Even at the best, the very best situation. Let's say I'm like James Hong. James Hong, the actor. He's 90 frickin' 6 years old. And that's a long time. So I don't have too much more. I mean, if I lived to my 90s, that'd be another 30 years. That would be like a full other lifetime for me. That'd be great. I don't really expect that, but my genetic father lasted to 81, so who knows? Who knows? And checking the rest of this, really, the only other things I have are very silly things. I've got like my call to the social worker and all that. And then I've got like, the FNAF ruin, security breach. And then there's the calls and Windows 12 stenosis. And then, but it's 17 minutes and change. And while I had like, there's the fellow thought slime I wanted to talk about. What's going on with the ocean currents. And they're expecting the ocean currents to basically be disrupted sometime between 2030 and 2070. And when that happens, things are going to change, not like the movie 2012, but things will take a little while, a few years to ramp up. And when they do, the weather and the climate are going to be changing so fast and so strongly that there is no way for our civilization to be able to keep up with the changes. When this happens, life on Earth is going to radically change, because huge portions of our planet right now that are fertile and you can grow food on are going to become infertile. You won't be able to grow food there. Cold places are going to get colder. Hot places are going to get hotter. Everything is just going to become harder to live on. Thumbs up for the future. And of course, it's not going to change because rich people, a few years back it was shown when they talked to a bunch of these rich people, they've been hiring think tanks to find out what they can do to stay on top. Would slave collars, explosive slave collars, be good for us so that the rich people stay rich? That was a real thing. Now, apparently, that's coming out is they're just planning on bunkering down. They're not going to fix things. They're just going to bunker down so that they die last. Not their kids dying last. They die last as the world burns. We die first, and then they get to enjoy the riches until the very, very end when they burn too. They're not planning on fixing this. They're just planning on riding this freight train right into a cliff face. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These are beautiful and awesome people that are in fact beautiful and awesome. Without their help, I would have been hosed like a Christmas monkey a long time ago. Thank you, each and every one of you. It is appreciated. Thank you each person that has in the past donated to my PayPal. And thank you each and every person who has in the past month and some donated to my GoFundMe. It is very appreciated. Okay, smokes. And I'm going to go through, excuse me, and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. At least I hope so. I might have opened up that page to the the comment, so I'm refreshing it, and then I'm going to make it to a text that's big enough that I can actually see. And I gotta stop saying I started eyeing again for comedic effect while I was doing videos for like Daggerfall and such. The problem is when you do something ironically, you will start doing it unironically. And I have made it a point of pride that when I talk, I don't and You pause. You don't say That really makes you look a lot better when you're doing public speaking. So, we have Jesse Koskinen, and it would be nice if they put Daggerfall and Daggerfall Unity on the Switch. Oh, that would be awesome. There is Chris Ryan, thumbs up and thank you. It's relit. Yeah, I know people that are both far left and far right, and as long as we can be civil and all that, I don't mind. I don't care. The people that matter are the politicians. Everybody, the rest of us, as long as you're not a lunatic that's trying to overthrow the government, believe what you want to believe, and that's fine. I mean, like I say, I'm far, far left, but I don't have a single bit of political power. So what does it matter what my political beliefs are? I'm not going to change anyone in the world. We have JAYY, thumbs up, thank you, and hopefully you continue to watch and listen. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to tell everybody what happened with the social worker. Oh, I'm worried. We have Trampoline Kingdom, thumbs up, thank you, greatly appreciated. Vicinator, thumbs up, and good to see you in the comments as well. There is Cockies, greatly appreciated, made in Canada. Yeah, I feel like I whined a whole lot too much yesterday, but my vlogging is for things that I feel, so that's the way I felt yesterday. But thumbs up, always good to see you. There is Woofy Boy. I like the name. Thumbs up and thank you. And then we have 77 Arcturus. Always good to see you in the comments, my friend. Hopefully things continue to go well-ish, at least for you. That would be good. There is Nicholas Patino. I am nowhere. Nicholas Paton. Thumbs up and thank you. RJ Mitchell, greatly appreciated. Regulator, thumbs up and thank you. There is Jesus Lozano, thumbs up and thank you. Each and every person. I think there's also a Scott there. Thumbs up, thank you. Each and every person that left me comments in the past 24 hours. It is appreciated. Get me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people. Definitely a thumbs up. So again, I have therapy today, so this is going to be posted after therapy, after 10 o'clock. Yay! So hopefully I'm going to be able to get some other stuff done. We shall see. But whether or not I can get things done, I still want to make a few phone calls as well. Whether or not I can get anything done, hopefully you can get what you would like to get done. But if you can't, definitely do not beat yourself up. No need to do that. It doesn't help a thing. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is definitely a very good thing. Thumbs up on that. Then, of course, I gotta turn this back on, so it turns off after 10 to... I don't know how long it takes. Still, though, I mean, that part's not important. You take care. I will see you.